What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to get into major changes coming on the defensive side of the ball, and Aaron Rodgers shouts out an underrated part of the New York Jets. Okay, so Rich Cimini earlier today put out an article talking about the potential for major changes coming to the New York Jets defense. It makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, the defense has major underachieved for a lot of reasons. Injuries, players underperforming, coaching changes, the dismantling of the defensive line from the former GM. Like a lot has played into this. But another reason that he brings this up is because the face of this, face might be hard to put it that way. I would say Sauce or maybe Quinnen's the face of the defense. But one of the leaders of the defense, CJ Mosley, is likely not going to be back this next upcoming year. Cimini says that he could be a cap casualty this offseason. Honestly, and like, I don't want this to happen. It stinks, but I think CJ Mosley might have to retire after this year. He hasn't played all that much due to injuries, but neck and back injuries are honestly no joke. And he's had a couple of them, and they've been issues for him. Again, like really good Jet, was a good player for them, but I don't think he's going to have much of an NFL career after this, and it pains me to say that. I would love for the guy to continue to play and play at a high level. I just have my doubts after the kind of injuries that he's gone through. But it's not just CJ Mosley. I mean, if you just look at this defense, how many guys are on expiring deals? Chuck Clark, Jalen Mills, Brandon Eccles, Isaiah Oliver, Tony Adams, Jamian Sherwood, Hassan Reddick, Javon Kinlaw, Lakey Fotu, Solomon Thomas. All those guys are on expiring deals. That's a huge portion of the defense. Jermaine Johnson's coming back next year from the Achilles, but it might take him a little bit, as we saw with Aaron Rodgers this year. It might take him a little bit to get up to speed, but even with him coming back, they need another edge rusher because Hassan Reddick won't be here. Michael Clemens is not a viable option. I don't think a regime that's coming in here that didn't spend a fourth-round pick on him will care about keeping him on the roster. They need two more interior defensive linemen, and of quality too. They're losing Javon Kinlaw, Lakey Fotu, likely Solomon Thomas. I think Solomon Thomas will just go wherever Robert Saleh ends up. They need one of them has to be a starter, a starting caliber interior guy, and at least a quality depth piece that could rotate in beyond that. So that's three things on the defensive line you need. They're going to need to bring in another linebacker to replace CJ Mosley. It could be Jamian Sherwood, but he's a free agent, so you have to pay him if you're going to keep him, and then you have to make that decision. Are you keeping Jamian Sherwood? Are you letting him walk? On the back end, you're likely to need another starting outside corner because DJ Reed is a free agent. You have, Sauce is going to be here, I would assume. You have also Michael Carter, who you just gave a contract to. You need two new starting safeties. I don't think Tony Adams or Chuck Clark are the long-term answers. Maybe they retain Jalen Mills in a limited role, but I don't think he's someone who you want to be your 17-game starter. So just looking at, again, key pieces. I'm not even talking depth guys, but three defensive linemen, an edge three, a starter on the interior, and another good interior rotational piece, a starting linebacker, a starting outside corner, and two new starting safeties. That's a lot of holes to fill. That is a lot of change coming to a defense that, for the most part, over the last couple of years, especially under Robert Saleh, has remained mostly intact, and now that's not going to be the case. There's going to be, a major overhaul. I think that's a fair description of what's going to happen on defense. Second half of the video, I wanted to talk about what Aaron Rodgers said on Pat McAfee. Just one of his quotes. He was on there for over an hour, but something that he talked about that really stood out to me was he pointed out, I would say, unsung heroes from the New York Jets win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. He says, here's the quote, Devontae Adams had a big game on Sunday and he made some ridiculous catches. The offensive line played outstanding and it was nice to come out of there with a win. The offensive line played outstanding part is really what brings a smile to my face. And, with Tyron Smith before the year, he was getting a lot of credit from Rodgers and the coaching staff for being a veteran. Same with Morgan Moses. Elijah Vera Tucker is a name that we know. But I'm looking at the left side of the Jets offensive line in this game and how they were able to protect Aaron Rodgers' blind side. And John Simpson's been one of the best guards in the NFL this year. That's the kind of level that he's played at. Was not expecting that when the Jets signed him. I thought he was should be a Laken Tomlinson upgrade, and not crazy hard, unfortunately, to replace the kind of production that Laken Tomlinson was giving you at left guard the last couple of years. But I thought he'd just be like an okay starter. I didn't think he would be playing at essentially a Pro Bowl level, and you got to tip your cap to him, man. He's been really, really good for the New York Jets, not only in the run game, but in pass protection. And then Jets rookie, man, Olu Fashanu going out there, having another strong showing at left tackle. And this is, what, 2 out of their I guess it is their last 2 games. Seattle has some good edge rushers. It is 2 out of their last 3. I apologize. Miami was in between. Forgot about that. 2 out of the last 3 games, you had an impressive showing against good defensive ends. Like Josh Hines-Allen is a good defensive end. The Seahawks, they have some pretty nice pass rushers there as well. And the line is standing tall. So that's a good thing for the new coaching staff that'll be in here, and likely the new GM. Some things to build around on that offensive line. But let me know your thoughts on the major overhaul on defense, your thoughts on the offensive line, and anything else New York Jets down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.